Good morrow, Fun Army, and welcome to the latest in my series of figure out how to make the thing. So I saw this really cool idea online of making a water bottle holder. Why might you want one of those, you ask? Well, obviously right now, while we're all still in this lockdown or stages of coming out of lockdown, you might want to go out for a walk. And I always have to make this decision of, do I take my water bottle with me? Do I leave it at home? Do I leave it in the car? What do I do? Because also, you know, you have to consider your bladder turnaround time and whether having water with you is a good thing. Like normally, in normal life, I don't go anywhere without my water bottle because I am constantly like downing water. So it has been an interesting time sort of having to be without it, but that has been more of a bladder concern than yes, just not having water around. So quite often I'm going out with just like my phone and my keys in my hand. If I'm just going for a walk from here and I'm just going to one of the local parks, like it would be nice to take my water with me, but if I have like more than two things to hold, everything gets a little bit confused. And that actually reminded me of when I am in the office. I'm usually like running from meeting to meeting, trying to carry like my laptop, my notebook, my pen, a cup of tea and my bottle. And the amount of times I have dropped my bottle because I just try and like chuck it into my armpit or something because I'm carrying so many things. Especially if you've got the cup of tea, that's what tends to like throw off the balance of everything else. So I was like, actually, it would be quite cool to have a bottle holder for moments like that when you are just running around and carrying things, but it's not necessarily an occasion for a full-on bag. So yes, I have seen a pattern online. I'm gonna do it slightly differently, I think, because I'm me. But they did also mention like it might be cool to have a pocket for your phone, and I was like, oh yeah, that would be cool, because actually if I'm going out for my walks right now and I literally just take phone keys, I could then take phone keys bottle and it could all go in the one little over the shoulder baggie. So I've got to figure out how to do the pocket so that everything fits snugly and then it doesn't just like bounce around, because that rather defeats the point. But yes, I thought this would be a nice sort of slightly challenging but hopefully also fairly straightforward project. I've got some funky fabric which I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, we're gonna give it a go and see what happens. The main thing I'm debating about at the moment is the strap. Like, I kind of feel like if you just have it on the one shoulder, that's really annoying, because the great thing about not taking a bag for a walk is that your arms are free. You know, I might be holding my phone in one hand and it's usually got my headphones attached to it if I'm by myself, and then I hold my keys in my other hand, but you know, you've still got that free arm movement, whereas if you've got it on the one shoulder, it might just be like banging into you and you're having to do that thing you do when sometimes you have a handbag and you have to keep pulling the strap up. So I think I might look at doing a crossbody one. We'll see how that goes. I kind of feel like I want it to be able to do both depending on my mood, or even that you could then sort of roll up the strap around your wrist and just kind of hold it in your hand. I'll see. I'll figure it out when we get to that bit, but yeah, that's the big debate right now. So next up, I will be cutting a pattern out of tracing paper, real professional, and then we'll cut out the fabric. So it turns out doing all of the pattern making, the planning, the cutting, the construction, the figuring out how it all goes together took most of the morning. So it's now the evening and I'm about to start doing the sewing. So can I give you a little quick tour? So this is the lining. So that gets sewed separately along with the bottom of the lining. This is the pocket, which is actually the first thing I'm going to sew because I need to sew, because I've made it lined, it's a lined pocket, so I need to sew the pocket to itself. Then I need to position it on the outside, which is the, I've lost it, there we go, which is the cow fabric. So the pocket will go here. So that needs to be sewed on first. Then we sew up the outside with its relevant bottom. And then we sew the lining to the outside, turn it all the right way out. Then, we're still not done, we fold a flap down to make a nice little outer decoration. And at that point, we have the strap, which I need to sew to itself. And then as I'm sewing down, so effectively, the lining will fold over. So this piece of fabric is taller than the outer bit, so we fold that over the top and we turn it out right side, and then you affix the strap here. And so then when we sew round the top to fix the I don't know the proper words, to effectively make that band around the top, you're then sewing the strap on as you sewing the strap on as you as you do that. So it sounds crazy complicated. It's actually, in terms of the sewing-y bit, not that complicated. It was just trying to figure out the ordering and how this was all going to work. But I think I've got it sussed. It sounded like it made sense when I said it, right? So yeah, now to get on with the actual sewing. So, hi, it's the next day. I was kind of done in and tired out after all the cutting and whatnot, so I lost a bit of steam, to be honest. So here we are, cracking on again. We've got the final touches to do now, so I've just been this morning pressing all the different bits and bobs. So I've repressed the strap and I've pinned that all up, so that's going to be the next bit that we sew. So effectively I'm sewing the strap to itself and just doing a wee bit of embellishment, i.e. I'm sewing on the side that doesn't actually need sewing as well, just so that evens out and it just kind of gives it a wee bit more robustness. Then we're going to attach it to the bag, and then we are going to do the, I don't really want to call it a drawstring, especially as it's a ribbon. But yeah, that's just going to keep your bottle in there securely and just kind of squoosh the top in. So yeah, I'll also need to do some slight measuring of the strap. So I made the strap long enough that it would go across body, but we'll need to pin that in place and just kind of like put the bottle in the bag and figure out what's going to be the right kind of positioning, because the bottle, once it's full of water, is obviously quite heavy. So we just kind of need to do a little walk around with it to see whether it's going to like bang into your bum or whatnot, or whether it needs to come a bit higher and maybe sort of sit in the waist curve. So yes, stay tuned and I'll show you how it goes. So, having pinned on the strap, so hopefully you can see this, so it goes under the main flap there, and then when we sew around the top and the bottom of the flap, that's how it gets attached. So I've got it on both sides. I put a hairband around just to test how it would sit when we've got, the tie in there and it sort of goes squoosh. So I tried it with this outfit, where I've just got a t-shirt on the top. I tried it with my coat on so I could see sort of how it would sit with different layers. And doing that, I've got about this much, I think, additional strap that we now need to take off. So we have two options the way I see it. We either just take it off the end and shorten the strap altogether, or I was wondering if I could turn this inward so it almost lands, because I sort of did this around the shoulder. So yeah, I'm going to look and see if I can turn it inwards a little bit, so maybe it just adds a bit more cushioning on the shoulder and it's just an extra layer, and that way I'm not having to cut anything off the strap. In case I want to adjust it again later, I would just have to unpick this bit. So I'm going to have a play with that, see if it's going to work. If not, I will just have to take some off the end and deal with it. So yeah, that's next. And then once those bits are sewn on, it will just be the ribbon time with air. So here we are, here's the strap with that folded over piece there. It's all sewn on round here. I don't know if it's going to focus on that. So then the final piece, don't need the sewing machine for this, hence why I've come in closer. So basically, we're going to make two little cuts here, and then I'm gonna thread this bad boy through. So we can do this two ways. I either just thread it straight through and then tie it in a bow, which doesn't really give you much of a drawstring, it's just effectively a tie. Or the trick that my mum has told me about but I haven't tried yet is that I think, am I gonna cut it in half? I need to figure this out. But basically you send one way and one the other way, and then when you pull them together, that's when it does the drawstring thing. So that's what I'm going to attempt. Stay tuned to watch it happen, hopefully. So I've got the ribbon through, woohoo! And I actually did a little bit of embroidery around the holes just so that they didn't fray and to make it look a little bit nicer. So now we're gonna load it up. Ooh, oh God. Where's the lid? Where's the lid to my bottle gone? That'd be good. Let's just test it with the bottle without the lid on. Okay, so bottle goes in. Whee! Oh. The only thing with the strap is it's so long when you're not wearing it. It's like having really long hair and just needing to flip out the way. So let's see if I can do this backwards. Test. Oh, hang on to it. Let's whack that over there. Nice. Display the merchandise. Right. Then you've got your ribbon. Pull that tight. Woohoo! Tie it backwards and upside down. La 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 la. Make a nice little bow. Ta-da! But we're not done. So then, into the pocket. Come on. It's just me being special. It's not a defect of the design. There we go. So the phone goes in the pocket, and then the keys would go on top, and then it goes over the shoulder and away you go. So I'll give you a separate little demo of what it looks like over the shoulder. Maybe I'll put my coat on so you can see the full effect. And yeah, that is making a water bottle with a pocket, no. And that is making a water bottle holder with a pocket for your phone and your keys. Boom.